Hello, and welcome to Pharmacist Answers. I'm Cynthia, and I will be your host. You're listening to my Periscope broadcast turned podcast. Hope you enjoy. This is something that happened to me this weekend while I was working. I had a guy bring me a prescription from the emergency room, and the medication that the doctor wrote on the prescription was actually an over-the-counter medication. Sometimes we stock over-the-counter things in the pharmacy too, and it can make it easy for insurances to pay for it. This, unfortunately, wasn't one of those times where the insurance was going to cover it, so it was easier just to get it for him over the counter. But the medication that he needed, it was called Miconazole. It is an antifungal. There's a group of antifungals called the azoles, A-Z-O-L-E, that all of their names end in those letters. So it's easy to group them together. And essentially they work on killing a fungus, or a yeast, which is a fungus. Kind of the same way. They have their own little tweaks to it, but essentially the broad, mechanism that they use to get rid of that fungus for you is essentially the same. So Miconazole is one of those azole antifungals. Unfortunately for this guy, the most popular way to find it in the store is in generic Monistat, which is a female yeast infection cream. No, this patient was not Caitlyn Jenner, so that is not how he was going to be using it, obviously. But it made it kind of awkward to say, I know that the place that the doctor wants you to use this is on like your feet and your ankles, because sometimes the same type of yeast can lead to athlete's foot. And that's one of the tricky things that manufacturers will do when they package their creams. The same kind of yeast or fungus can create an infection on just about any part of your body, any part of your skin. But the manufacturers like to package them with the cute specific names on them, so you think that, oh, if this is an athlete's foot cream, then it's not going to work anywhere else. And that's not true, because we have, for instance, some athlete's foot cream are also labeled same ingredients, same amount of medicine, everything, but it will be labeled like jock itch. So some people get weirded out and say, I don't really want to put something for jock itch on my feet, but it's the same medicine, it doesn't matter. So I had to walk this guy through the fact that the medicine in the tube is the same kind of medicine that would be in a different kind of tube if I actually had it in stock. This one's just specifically labeled for females, but that's not true. The cream inside the tube doesn't care what gender you are. It just knows that if there is a fungus there, when it gets applied, that it's going to do its job. So that was kind of awkward for him, but he was able to grasp it and understood and took it and was able to treat what the doctor wanted him to treat. But it made for an awkward conversation from me, a girl, to him, a guy, saying, I know this says female yeast infection, but it'll still work. The same kind of critter that causes athlete's foot can cause jock itch, can cause a type of yeast to grow on your scalp. And then those same antifungals that you can get over the counter help treat ringworm, and ringworm can pop up on any place on your body. So the marketers try to get the money out of your pocketbook, but if you're armed with the information to know that it doesn't matter what they try to market it for, it's the ingredient inside the package that matters, and that's what's going to do you good, no matter how it's labeled. So anyway, I did put the cream in a bag for him so he didn't have to walk out of the store with this box that said yeast infection cream, 7-day treatment, like the box said. So anyway, that's my funny story. I will see y'all later. Bye. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes so you don't miss an episode. You can find the show notes at pharmacistanswershere.wordpress.com. If you want to join the conversation live, follow me on Periscope at Cyn Hendrix, CYNHENDRIX. You can also share your questions and comments with me on Twitter
@sinhendrix or email the podcast at pharmacistanswershere@gmail.com.